How's everybody doing? Today I'm going to be giving you my impressions of Borderlands 3. To start this impressions video off, I'm going to give you the best thing and the worst thing about the game so far. One of the best things about Borderlands 3 so far is the microtransaction quality loop. In 2019, we have way too many games that depend on our real-world currency to buy these awesome in-game gear, items, skins, you name it. But in Borderlands 3, I can get a new head, a new skin, I can get a grenade that shoots rainbows out of it, I can get all of these crazy guns that do all of these cool and new things, and I'm not actually putting in $1 of my own money. Now on the opposite side of that, one of the worst things that I'm experiencing in this game is how the menus bog down the frame rate and gameplay. At the beginning, you only have 2 gun slots, so it forces you to go into your inventory screen and use a different gun if you run out of ammo. Sooner enough, you will have 4 gun slots, but until then, you're forced to go into your menu and you watch your frame rate fall drastically. This also happens when you go into the shops. Playing in split screen has an undeniable flaw, and that is the menu system that I just mentioned. You can be playing, you could be fully immersed, and then your frame rate will drop. You'll look at your co-op partner screen and you'll see that they are either in the shop or the menu. But now let's go into the feel, because this game feels great. The gunplay rivals Destiny 2, and that is very important. When I'm playing this game, when I am running around, when I am shooting down enemies, switching from gun to gun, it is very enjoyable and it feels very tight. I rarely feel like I'm missing shots, and due to the gameplay feeling so good, a lot of the guns that I'm coming across also feel great, even though they're not exactly my style of gameplay. Which, when there are millions of guns, this is extremely important factor, and Borderlands 3 nails that. But on the flip side of that, the driving could use some work, and there is something left to be desired when you're driving around the vehicles. The first car you get is like a dune buggy with a cannon on it that supports 2 people. And then soon after that, you get a larger vehicle that allows you to ride with 3 to 4, and that becomes customizable, which I really liked. But on the very first planet that you get to in this game, it gives you a vehicle right off the bat that I just did not really enjoy driving around. Maybe I will warm up to it. This is exactly where I am in the game, is that first planet now. But that vehicle, I was just like, I got in it and I was like, no, I don't like this right now. I don't like this. But even though the driving isn't the best, the vehicle customization is very cool. There's a new system in the game where you can steal bandits' vehicles, steal enemy vehicles, take them back to the carport, and then you unlock those parts, and that is really cool. There is a whole lot of spawning vehicles in this game, creating custom vehicles and spawning them throughout the whole game, so this becomes really important, and every time you spawn a vehicle, you have the option to change it, you have the option to put new guns, new parts, and it's really rewarding, which is something that I like. As I said earlier, there are millions of guns in this game, and every time you receive a new gun, it is fun and surprising, even though quickly that gun becomes ineffective. This is a common problem in most games of service games that you are finding a lot of loot and leveling up, so that is not a big problem with me, but it does lead me to really like a gun and then not be able to use it, or I really don't like this gun, but I have to use it, which is sometimes a drag, but eventually when you get to that end game, that won't be such a problem. Now, one of the last things that I want to talk about in this impressions video is maybe the most important factor in most Borderlands 3 games, right? And that is the characters. These Vault Hunters are unique and fresh, and so are their skill trees. A skill tree can be very important, especially if it feels somewhat linear. For everything perfect that God of War does, in my opinion, I think the skill tree lacks, because it seems like by the end of the game, your skill tree is completely maxed out and you don't really have much to do. In this game, you look at all of your character's skill trees and you can actually change the way your character plays, and that's so important in a game like this, because really Destiny was that first game that allowed you and made you want to play different characters, different playthroughs, and that's exactly what this game does, and it makes you want to do with these skill trees. So far, it seems like Amara and Flak are like the big heavy hitters that everybody seems to want to be picking. I picked Moze, and it seems like a lot of people don't pick Zane, and then when they pick Zane, they're like, Zane is fucking awesome. So who's your Borderlands 3 main? Let me know in the comments below. But before I leave you, let's talk about the Calypso twins. They're the antagonists in Borderlands 3, and they have huge shoes to fill with Handsome Jack from the previous titles. And so far in my book, I think they do it. These guys are fresh, just like the Vault Hunters. They are stylish. They are cool. They are the type of corny Twitch streamer that is a little bit too on the nose, and they know it, and I think they benefit from this. And when I see them, I want more screen time, which is really good for a bad guy. I have a lot more of Borderlands 3 left, and I'm enjoying it. If you're a fan of this series, I really think that this is a title that you should pick up and experience. And if you're someone that has played a lot of games as service, I think this is a game that you'd like to go in fresh. You don't need to know a lot, and you can experience a really tight gameplay experience, and a game that, like I said before, is very rewarding in the year 2019, where our wallets are up for grabs by these companies, and it feels like Borderlands 3 is a company that is giving to us this time with this title. So let me know what you think in the comments below. GBW out.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.